Hi, welcome back to DCTrainingLLC.com. My name is Diego. I'm the instructor. I get some questions often enough to create a video. And one of the questions that I oftentimes get is, well, what's your recommendation on the firearm to use for personal protection? That's kind of a loaded question. Let's just take personal protection into two different scenarios. We have in-home or home defense, and then we have your permit to carry, CCW, what gun you're going to be taking out on the street. So I'll just go ahead and break down the two different types of guns and answer it simply as this. The gun you can shoot accurately with, feel most comfortable, and you're safest with. So accuracy, comfortable, and safety. If those three criteria are met, the gun is really obsolete. So the two different types of guns you're probably going to be looking at are going to be revolver or semi-automatic. Now, I like both. Both have advantages, both have disadvantages. Quickly, an advantage of the revolver. If you have a misfire, the only thing you need to do is continue pulling the trigger. So this is a double action. What I mean is the cylinder here, contains the rounds. So if that round that's loaded in is a dud, it goes click, all you have to do is pull the trigger again. If that round goes click, pull the trigger again. You will get a live working round unless you're out of bullets. Then you're in serious trouble. The downside of that is you have limited capacity. Your, average revolver is going to have 6 round capacity. So, advantage, if it doesn't go bang, you keep pulling. Disadvantage, limited capacity. Next, we're going to go to the semi-automatic. Semi-automatic has a detachable magazine. So essentially, as many magazines as I have are as many rounds as I can fire. Disadvantage is if there is a jam, it takes a little bit of technical know-how to get the jam cleared efficiently and effectively. If practiced, you can be very, very quick and safe with a jam or a malfunction. So the semi-automatic, there's more moving parts. There are a greater tendency to jam. However, if you practice with your self-defense, home defense, critical defense ammunition, you'll be able to best suit the ammo to the gun, therefore preventing or limiting the odds of you getting in a situation where you'd have to clear a jam anyway. So, benefit is detachable magazine. You have extra magazines. All you do is insert it, rack it, and away you go. You're up and firing. Another advantage is you have typically a higher capacity than 6 rounds, your average revolver. And another advantage is these come in all different sizes to conceal, right? So very easily concealed. Let's step into the home defense. I love these two types of guns for home defense. Like I said, safety, comfortable, and confident and accurate with the gun. Those are the key factors. However, when we're talking about home defense, we have other options and other things we should be bringing, we should have at the ready in case of an emergency. So let's talk about another type of gun. If we listen to the Vice President Joe Biden says grab a shotgun. And I'm not sure if he said double barrel, but this was the first shotgun I had available in my safe. So, double barrel shotgun. What that says is we've got 2 barrels. So what we have is 2 opportunities for the bad guy or bad guys to be down. So very limited capacity. However, these guns do come in semi-automatic and pump with larger capacities. You don't have to have, if you choose to have a shotgun, you don't have to have a big full-size shotgun that you should be shooting ducks and doves and geese with. We actually have a self-defense or critical defense options to put on these. So here we have your typical 870. This 870 was in the field, in service for me and my father for 35 years. I decided to retire it from the field and make it my home critical defense. Now, a couple different things you could see on here that you don't typically see on other shotguns. Right here, we've got extra ammunition or extra shells ready to go. So when I grab this gun, I've got a fully loaded shotgun with extra shells ready to go. What you don't oftentimes see is a tack light. So most offenses, I would say, are going to occur at low light or no light or low visibility. So having some kind of illumination on your gun is great, because what are you going to grab? You don't have to grab two things. You can grab one. You grab the shotgun, which has got this is the button for the light. So it's on my grip. So I grab my shotgun. Not only do I have a defense tool, I've got more ammunition, I've got a light, and to be honest, that sound is a pretty good deterrent in and of itself. So if you're going to use a shotgun, you don't have to use, Grandpa's gun that he used to go shoot and hunt ducks with. You can actually get shorter barrel, easier to swing, clear from room to room. You can actually get an extended magazine. So what this does is that instead of it being a 3 capacity with 3-inch shells, right, it's going to be a 6 capacity. So it extends how many rounds or shells you could put into this gun. Another add-on feature is the grip pump. I like the grip pump. My hand is a little uncomfortable grabbing it standard, especially when swinging doors. And if you're thinking about turning a corner and someone grabs onto that, if you're grabbing onto a little pump action versus a grip, you've got much more control this way. Still, this is my backup weapon of choice. I will always come into the fight with some type of semi-automatic. A little easier for me to handle. I feel more comfortable. And I've got a light that I would carry in my opposite hand, clearing rooms. So shining the light, clearing rooms. So much easier, much more, much more of a easier tool to clear rooms to rooms, or clear as many rooms as need be. Some other things you probably should have or should be at least informed about. Maglite. Maglite's great. I love these things. When I take my semi-automatic and I hear a noise or the dog's barking outside, I can easily go and clear any area very easily. It's just a two-handed way to grip and to fire. Something else you'd have to practice. I mean, if I'm out, I'm obviously going to grip the gun with two hands this way. In my home, I have to train myself a little bit differently. I'm not going to flip on every light in the house. I probably won't have the time, and I don't want to give the bad guy the upper hand by seeing me just as easily as I could see him. However, keep in mind, when you do shine this light, you are giving up your placement. So I only use the light when necessary. If I'm walking downstairs and I need to clear a room, not until I get almost to the point of danger will I click and shine, right? Some other things you might need to have or at least be thinking about. Critical defense, ammo. This is personal defense. Federal's personal defense. Tested in each of your guns. Your guns will react differently. The chance for jams is going to increase when you use these different type rounds versus the rounds you're currently using. Another thing you might want to consider, set of handcuffs. Now, I'll get some critique on this because people say, well, you're going to be putting your hands on another bad guy and detaining someone. Well, no, not necessarily. If the time ever came where I had to discharge the weapon and the bad guy was down, or if the mere sight of the gun with an intruder got him or her to stop, I would not physically put these cuffs on. I would then throw the cuffs to the subject, have them cuff themselves. That's if they've already been shot or if their demeanor is such where they're going to give up based on me having the upper hand. So, not a bad idea to have some handcuffs. And lastly, we wanted to talk about a safety plan. We have safety plans in place depending on where you live. I mean, you can have, if you're on the West Coast, or I was from California, so we had an earthquake plan, right? What to do in the event of an earthquake, whether we're all at home, some of us are at home, or we're all out through the course of our day. Here in the Midwest, we don't have fear of earthquakes, but there's tornadoes, so we have tornado plans. Where is our meeting place, right? Do we have food rations? It's always good to prepare. No matter where you live, you should have a fire plan. What to do in the event of a fire inside the home, whether it's a kitchen fire or whether it's just a fire, randomly throughout, in the middle of the night, maybe an electrical fire. So, in terms of guns, once you bring guns into the house, you should also have an intruder plan. What are we going to do if there's an intruder in the house? Now, it doesn't have to be very different than any of the other plans. For example, a plan for us in the event of a fire is I find the way out while my wife gathers our kids, right? Our son has his own plan. He's older, so now the plan is kind of evolved into his being able to fend and care for himself. So your plan has to be in place with the preparation that's ever evolving based on the changes, how old your kids are, so on and so forth. So have a plan in place. And in that plan, you should have some kind of code or safety word that's used giving the all clear. And it shouldn't necessarily be all clear, because if you're in a situation where a subject is trying to take you and your family hostage, they're going to probably tell you to calm the situation by telling your wife everything's okay. And if there's no secret all clear word and you give that, hey, everything's okay, we're okay, I'm okay down here, well then that gives your wife the trigger, something bad is still happening. So develop your all clear. Very, very important. Something that has meaning to you but nobody else, that you or your wife or your partner will not forget. So preparation is key. Let's be prepared, let's be safe, and be ready.